So after we create our top of surface, our sidewalks, our streets, and place the components you might have to download online on Revit City, or you can go to the library I uploaded on Blackboard and just search for cars and people and plants, etc. and put in your project. Okay. However, if you're using Lumion, you only need to do the sidewalks and the streets. You don't need to place any components on Revit. It might be better if you use the library inside of Lumion, which is I I think it's usually much better than com the components people upload online. Okay? Okay, so let's say you're doing it in Revit. So after you place all the components you need for your scene, it's time to render. Okay, so I'll go to my level 0 and let's do the view tab, and right here you click on camera. Okay, and you are going to click 2 times. The first time is where you are going to place the camera. So let's say I'm going to place it right here. So the second time that you click, you're going to click on your target. Okay, so my target, let's say I want to place in the middle of my building right here. As soon as you do it, it opens up a new tab, and you can see here 3D view 1. You can rename, this is going to be the name of the render. So let's just do front view, for example. Okay. Alright, so if we go back to level 0, we see that our camera just disappeared. It's not here anymore. This is because we need to go back here. You see the one we created, front view. You right click on it and show camera, and there you go, it goes back here. Okay, and you have a couple options in the properties board over here that I would like to show you guys. These two are the most important: eye elevation and target elevation. You see this little pink dot here? This is your target elevation, and this, the camera, is the eye elevation. So let's say, let me close all the hidden tabs here. I assigned a shortcut QQ, or you can just click here and I will open my front view. So you can press WT now, and you have the 2 windows. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll click here to activate this window. Okay, I'll go here, show camera, and I will change my my eye elevation. Let's do 20 feet and see what happens. You see that this image here is changing. So the higher you put, like the more tilted, let's say, your image will be here. So the target elevation, same thing. If I do -10, it's going to move down even more. Okay, so for now, for example, let me do 20 and 0 as my target elevation. Okay, or 10, so we can get a good front view. And you see that this is not, we cannot see all of our building. So we have 2 options here. We can either move the camera back here, you can just drag. So if you do that, all of your scene is going to be inside of here. However, what you can also do, let me put it back here. Okay, so now I cannot see all of my building. So what you can do is you select this rectangle here. Now you have the option to drag the borders. Okay, so we can drag a little bit just to see all of our building. Okay, but this is a bit tricky because if you drag too much, the image is going to get distorted. So it's not going to be realistic anymore. For example, this car, it's not something realistic. So you usually just want to use it. You just want to use this option of dragging the borders a little bit, just so you can fit part of your image that is not in your camera. Okay, so let's say this image looks good. This is what we want. This is what I want. So what I'm going to do now, you have two options. First, you can render in your computer here, or you can render in the cloud. To render in the cloud, you will need to create an Autodesk account or sign in. Let's say first to render in your computer, you click here and a rendering window will open. Okay, so I would say go for the high quality. In our case, 150 it's enough. Okay, for this homework. And in a real project, you would of course go for the best quality at 600 dpi. Okay, so let's do printer. Let's file this in a draft just to render and see what happens. Hopefully it's going to be fast. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is what you want to do before you actually render your final image. But why? Because we want to make sure that all our elements are in the scene if the image looks good for the final render. So first you just do a quick draft to check, and then you do the final render after. Okay, what you can also do is, let me close this, let's go back here, let me open again. You can just render a region of your scene. Let's say you're trying to see a specific material, specific let's say specific component of your project. You can just click, let this render window right here. You can activate here. Okay, one more time. Let me just drag it. And now if you click render, it's just going to render the part of the project, sorry, the part of the view you selected. Okay, so let's wait for a little bit. There we go. So now we just have this part in case if we want to check something. Now the quality is bad because we selected trapped. Okay, let me close this again. Oh yeah, before we do that, we have a couple options here for our clouds. So in our project, I would recommend you to use few clouds and exterior sun only. Okay, and if for some reason you're going to render in your computer, after the render is done, you just click export and then you save. Alright, I would recommend you to save PNG or JPEG, doesn't matter in this case. Okay, or if you're going to render in the cloud, which is what I would recommend you to do, click here. Oh, sorry, we go to render in cloud, and then it's going to show this message here, continue. Okay, so first you select the view you want to render. Output, we select still image in our case. Render quality final, image size, you can go for the maximum. It's going to render in the cloud, it's not going to affect your computer in any case. So exposure advanced, file format PNG. Okay, and then you just click render. As soon as you click it, it's going to, you can check email me when complete. So you're going to need to log in into your Autodesk account, and then there, as soon as you log in, you will search for the image, and you can download from their server later. Okay. Okay, so this is our front image. Let's go try to make a top image. That is a little bit tricky. Let me open up this here. Okay, let's do view, camera, and then I'll click here, and then just a little bit after here. Okay, so when we go to our 3D view, we can select here, right click, show camera. Okay, and in here I'll choose eye elevation 100, target elevation 0. Okay, So let me choose this view so we can see better. So okay, so now what happens is we need to drag this sort of pyramid here, okay, and I will adjust my camera so it gets, I'll try to make it as perpendicular as possible to my building. So, and I can also go to level 0 and I can rotate RO, you can press RO to rotate how you want it, okay. So we can make this look as straight as possible. So I'll do the same thing, close, and then level 0, and then I'll press WT, and let me show the camera here, okay. So this is what we're seeing right now. Let me drag the here so we can have a better idea of what we are actually seeing. Okay, there we go. Alright, so if I go to my 3D view, I will see better how the camera is. Show camera. Okay. Okay. So maybe I don't need to go this high. If I want to try 50. So no, this doesn't get all the beauty. Yeah, you can go for 100. And then open up the view back. And for the top view of our building. So this is how it's going to look like. Okay, and if you feel that this is not straight, you can also go to level 0, and remember you need to show the camera again, and then you can press rotate and rotate the camera how you want. Okay, and after you see that it looks good, okay, let's give some details and some colors here. Okay. Here we cannot see the back roof. So let's go back to the 3D view. Let's try to make this camera go a little bit higher, 200, and we will need to drag this down again. Let's see now how it is. Okay, now it looks better. We can see the back roof and the front roof of our building, and let me just drag it here. So this will be one of the views we need for a project, just for our building. Okay, let's say top view of building. So what we can do is we can just duplicate it. Okay, top view of the whole project. Okay, after you do that, you can select the lines and just drag, just show all of your project. Okay, so now all we have to do is go here, rendering cloud, and just choose the same options as before. And this is how you're going to do the top view of your project. And the other renders in Revit should be pretty straightforward, I would say.